Hello, Lady Val here, and I welcome you to On the Far Side of Whimsy. This little short video today is dedicated to Carla. She had a question about binding pages to put in your junk journals, and I had mentioned that I use lace seam binding. I had gotten a whole lot of it from an estate sale, every color in the rainbow, and I said I'm using it to do the binding of my pages when I have separate pages. So she wanted to see an example of that, so that's what I'm going to do today. So I'm just going to use this is an old book I found in a thrift shop, and I bought it simply because of the lovely yellowing pages. They look very vintage and old already, so they wouldn't take a lot to decorate in the style that I love, which is vintage grunge. So I'm just going to cut a few pages out of here. There we go. That gives us a few to work with. So basically, you can bind them two ways and use your seam binding. This I'm going to trim up a little bit because I certainly didn't do it. Oops, sorry about that. Not very good at this filming thing. Very new at it, so let's trim these up. Some of these trimmers and things that I've got, I've gotten from Marketplace Finds, where I've gone and gotten a whole load of things that people are giving away or, selling very cheaply for my stash. Now these of course, are quite narrow, but you can use any size paper, anything you want to do this with. So you can do it one of two ways. You can either overlap your pages, like this, and I first use my glue stick, and I use Uhu glue stick for this. So I simply put a glue down the edge, and glue it together. This way. Or you can do it the opposite way. And if you like the rough edge, you can glue it together on the opposite side. Because more than likely, unless it's a page that you want to read in your journal, you're going to be decorating it and covering up a lot of the print anyway, so it really doesn't matter what book page it is, what pages you're gluing together, whether it's botanical, book page, florals, printables, whatever it is, it all works the same way. So you've got your pages together, and for the lace, I kind of measure haphazardly there and cut it off. And I'm going to want two pieces because I'm going to do both sides to reinforce it on each side. And I use Beacon's 3-in-1 as my next go-to glue. I use this for everything. I use it for paper, I use it for plastic, I use it for metal, I use it for everything. So I just put a bead of the 3-in-1, Beacon's 3-in-1, down the center of the page. And I put my lace on there. And you can position it however you like and just press it down. Turn it over. Put another bead down the middle of this page. And you line it up with the one on the back. Press it down. You can either just press it down with your fingers or your bone folder. Let's see, I think this needs just a little bit more glue. Let's see on the other side needs a little bit more. Down the one side. Also, the other thing I really like about Beacons 3-in-1 is it gives you time to move things around a little bit. If things are not straight on the paper and you want them a little bit straighter, you've got time to move them into place before it dries completely, which is, in my opinion, because I'm not really I don't line things always perfectly the first time out. Gives me time to straighten them up. So you just cut off the excess on each end. So as a vintage grunge person, this would be my style, leaving the rough edges on the outside of the paper. And this is quite brittle paper, so, it just all depends on what paper you're using. So then you can, when it dries, when the glue dries, you simply fold it down the middle. And you've got yourself a very sturdy, hinged piece of paper. So you would be able to sew through this with ease, and it would fit nicely in your journal. And you're not going to have it's not going to come up, it's not going to tear. The only thing it's going to tear is if you have brittle paper like this. So you can use it on any paper, you can use it as long as you need to, you can use it as short as you need to, and it adds a little decorative touch. And like me, I've got every color in the rainbow, so you can also match it to any theme that you happen to be working on, because it comes in all different colors. And you would do the same with this. Just put it down the middle, both sides, fold it over, and you've got yourself another page. So any size, like I said, any size paper it works on. Any kind of paper it works on, as long as you use a fabric glue. You can either use Fabri-Tac, which is by the same company as 3-in-1, or any other fabric glue that you want. So that's it, Carla. I hope you get to try it, because it really does work, and it adds just a little extra touch to your pages. So thanks for joining me. See you soon. Bye.